Have you ever wondered how a single gunshot could plunge the entire world into war? It sounds like something out of a movie, but it's exactly what happened with World War I. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary was the spark, but the powder keg had been filling for decades. Today, we're going to unpack the real reasons behind the war that was supposed to end all wars. Let's rewind the clock. Europe in the early 20th century was a web of complicated relationships. To understand the tension, we need to look at four key factors, which historians often remember with the acronym MAIN: militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism. First up, militarism. This was a massive arms race. Countries like Britain and Germany were in a fierce competition to build the biggest and best navy. Britain had ruled the waves for centuries, and Germany wanted a piece of the action. This wasn't just about ships. Armies were growing, new weapons were being developed, and military leaders were gaining huge influence over political decisions. Everyone was preparing for a fight, which made a fight much more likely. The belief was that a strong military was the ultimate measure of a nation's strength and prestige. Next, we have alliances. Imagine a schoolyard where everyone has picked a team, and if you mess with one person, you mess with their entire crew. That was Europe. The two major teams were the Triple Entente, which included France, Britain, and Russia, and the Triple Alliance, made up of Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. These alliances were meant to keep the peace by creating a balance of power, but in reality, they created a domino effect. A conflict between two nations could now easily pull in all of their allies, turning a small regional dispute into a continent-wide war. Then comes imperialism. The major European powers were scrambling to build vast empires, conquering territories across Africa and Asia. This competition for colonies created intense rivalries. Resources, new markets, and national pride were all at stake. Germany, being a relatively new country, felt it was late to the imperial party and wanted its place in the sun. This desire for more territory often brought nations to the brink of conflict, adding another layer of fuel to the fire. It was a global game of monopoly, but with real armies and navies. Finally, let's talk about nationalism. This is the belief that your country is the best, and its interests should come first. In some places, it was about pride and patriotism. In others, it was about ethnic groups wanting to break away from large empires and form their own nations. For example, in the Balkans, a region known as the powder keg of Europe, Slavic peoples like the Serbs wanted independence from Austria-Hungary. This intense nationalism created a lot of instability and fueled a desire to prove national dominance, often through military strength. So you have militarism creating the weapons, alliances creating the teams, and imperialism and nationalism creating the rivalries and resentments. The stage was perfectly set for a major explosion, and that explosion came on June 28, 1914. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, was visiting Sarajevo, a city in Bosnia. A young Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip, part of a group that wanted to free Slavic people from Austro-Hungarian rule, assassinated the Archduke and his wife. Austro-Hungary, furious and backed by its powerful ally Germany, issued a harsh ultimatum to Serbia. When Serbia couldn't meet all the demands, Austro-Hungary declared war at Russia, seeing itself as the protector of the Slavic people, began to mobilize its army to support Serbia. This triggered the alliance system. Germany declared war on Russia, and then on Russia's ally, France. When Germany invaded neutral Belgium to get to France, Britain declared war on Germany. In just a few short weeks, the dominoes had fallen. The spark in Sarajevo had ignited the powder keg of European tensions, plunging the continent and eventually the world into the Great War. It wasn't just one thing, but a perfect storm of long-brewing factors that led to one of the deadliest conflicts in human history. Understanding these causes is so important because it shows how easily things can spiral out of control. It's a powerful lesson from history that still resonates today. Thanks for watching, and if you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into history. See you next time.